What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're here back with Miss Kim in Sweden. Somebody sent me one of her videos about the life update and that she was giving away AirPods, but I was like, I think it was on my video about how to be able to like move to Sweden type thing. And they sent me that. I was like, you know what, let me find another video, because I enjoy Miss Kim's content. And I follow on Instagram, so I already have like a little update. So, hey, and she is doing a lot of great things. Had some great news, and she was able to move to officially become a Swede, I guess you could say. But that's always good, always nice. And so y'all make sure y'all follow her. Check out her Instagram. Check out her podcast. She got a podcast and everything. That's great. So. Y'all check that out. But we here with 5 things that Sweden does better than America. We finna see. Maybe I heard something. Maybe that's it. But it's a different point of view right now. So y'all hit that subscribe button. Send down those recommendations. Let's jump into it.
Hello guys, and welcome to a new video. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for clicking on this video. I have reached my first YouTube milestone this week. Yesterday, my other video, the differences in Swedish apartments versus American apartments, got 1,000 views, and I'm so excited. And I know that's not a lot in terms of like YouTube views, but I honestly didn't even want to upload that video because I felt so awkward when I watched it. And I was like, this video sucks, nobody's gonna watch this, and I look like a weirdo. So the fact that it's gotten 1,000 views and that is my most watched video so far just makes me so excited. Nice. So if you've watched that video, thank you. If
I'm gonna have to check that video out.
It just makes me so excited. So if you've watched that video, thank you. If you've commented and liked it, thank you. If you haven't watched it yet, then go over and check it out now. I am explaining the differences in Swedish apartments here in Sweden versus what I'm used to in America. Also, just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and do that and give this video a thumbs up. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I think Sweden does better than America. So I am American, I am currently living in Sweden, and I've realized that some things here are just better than in America. Facts. And these are the top 5 things that I have realized since living here. Number 1, there is no tipping here in Sweden and in most of Europe.
Okay, we were just talking about tipping on another video. What was the guy from Czechia or something like that? In his video, he was talking about the tipping, But I guess, I don't know, if I go to Sweden, I might be tempted to tip just because, I'm so used to it down here.
Now, if you are American or you've been to America, then you know that waiters, bartenders, basically any service industry job, those workers survive on tips.
Thanks.
Their base salary is way below minimum wage, so they need tips from customers in order to make a living. I worked as a waitress for many years in LA, and if I had just gotten paid from what my actual restaurant paid
like
me, I would have been making like $100 a week, which is like 1,000 crowns a week. So obviously nobody can live on that. Here in Sweden, waiters, waitresses, they get a salary from their employer, a monthly salary. So when you go out to eat, they're not expecting you to leave a tip. So when your bill comes, you don't have to worry about leaving extra money for the waiter or waitress. If you don't leave a tip, it's perfectly normal. Nobody gets offended. If you don't leave a tip in America, they might actually say something like, oh, I'm sorry, did you realize that tip is not included? Or something like that. In America,
I ain't gonna lie, when I was a waiter, especially when it was like probably that day before, you knew that bill was due the next day type thing. Hey, I was always, I need a certain amount today, and my first table would be somebody that gave me like $2, on like a $50, $60 tab. That would hurt so much, I ain't gonna lie. But, then the next one, that's customers start rolling in, start getting you tip. But Yeah, it's tough. It's tough being a waiter and a waitress in America. It is.
Most times,
In certain
if
places, though,
there's
certain
like
places.
a certain number of people, then they will include tip in the bill. So if there's like 8 or more people, then tip is included at some restaurants. But for the most part, you have to leave a tip. And that's for any service industry job in America. That includes when you get your nails done, you leave a tip. When you get your hair done, you leave a tip. I remember when I got my hair done here in Sweden, I texted my friend like, do I have to have money for a tip? She's like, no. I'm like, are you sure? Because it feels so weird just paying the amount.
Yeah.
It feels so weird not leaving a tip. But personally, I think it's better because I don't think it should be up to the person going out to eat to pay the waiter or waitress's salary.
Facts.
I think it should be up to the employer to pay their employees. So in my opinion,
Facts.
it's better here in Sweden that you don't have to leave a tip. Number 2, and I love this. I love this because it's so much more clean, it's so much more fresh, and it makes sense if you think about it. And that is no shoes on in the house.
Man, I still remember when I first did my Sweden videos. I got ate up for this one. To the point that I just started taking my shoes off. Like I walk around barefooted all the time in my house. Even to go outside, check the mail. Like I'm barefooted 24/7 just about. I need some slippers. I need to get me some slippers. But not outside. I don't walk barefooted. Outside I can't. They're bringing a lot of dirt in my house. But
Like
y'all know what I
what?
mean. Y'all know what I mean.
Most Americans, not all of course, but most Americans don't take their shoes off when they go into a house, their own house, or their friend's house, family's house. You wear the shoes outside, you wear the shoes inside. I grew up like that. Of course, if it was like disgustingly snowy or muddy or something outside, we would take our boots off. But for the most part, like regular days, you wear your shoes in the house. Now, in Sweden, that is like insane. Like, why would you wear your shoes that have just been outside and are so dirty in the house? And it makes so much sense. It's crazy when you think about the fact that Americans don't take their shoes off. Like, why wouldn't you? I grew up, as I said, like that. And I had one friend whose family was from Europe. And whenever I went to her house, we had to take our shoes off. And I thought that was like so strange. And then I lived in
definitely would have had to make sure I had on clean socks every time I went to that friend's house. I'm gonna make sure I have clean socks, make sure my shoes don't stink. Might have to wear slides here.
And I thought that was like so strange. And then I lived in Los Angeles with my best, I lived in Los Angeles with my best friend who's from Sweden. And when we moved in together, she started making me and all of our guests take their shoes off when they entered our apartment. And that was like 10 years ago. And once I saw how much better it is to take your shoes off before you go into your apartment, how much cleaner it is, it makes so much sense. Now I do that. When I'm in America and I don't take my shoes off, I feel so weird. It feels like truly, truly awkward. And just like I'm doing something wrong, especially when I go to other people's house and I don't take my shoes off. I'm like, oh, sorry. And here in Sweden, if you went to someone's house without taking your shoes off, I don't know what would happen, but I feel like it would be really weird. The third thing that I think is better here in Sweden than in America is that everyone has the same access to education, higher education. I mean, college, university, because it's free. I mean, it's not free, but it's included in the taxes that you pay. So once you finish high school, you don't have to worry about how much the college costs that you want to go to. Can I afford this college? Because as long as you have the grades, you can go to whatever school that you want. They do have like loans that they give you and you have to pay it back, but the interest rate is so much lower than in America. Number one thing I think that keeps people from getting a higher education is the price.
Right.
Because
the price, because anybody can still go to like a junior community college and stuff like that with low grades, like, you know. But that price, people always, every time I ask, like even some of the kids, they have probably all A, top 10 in their class. If they ain't got no scholarship, they're like, I'm not going to college right now, at least right now, because I can't afford it. Like they have to go get a job. Then they probably go and start applying for college, like what, a year or so after you graduate high school, because you can't afford it, because you know your parents don't have the money for it. Like that sucks. That really does, because I feel like colleges will have a more higher graduation rate if it was free, or included already in taxes and stuff, and they, and cheaper. We just say cheaper. Like if you go to different websites, I know for sure the FAFSA website, they will tell you, like the school that you're applying for, they'll tell you the graduation rates. Mostly all the graduation rates, at least in Texas, I can speak for, because when I was applying for college, they're like 45% or below. They're not even at 50% or high. They're like, it's a real low graduation rate. Like, because a lot of people do start college, but a lot of people don't finish because they already see that they're in debt, or they probably owe money and can't even, register for classes because they owe money. Like that happened to me once. Like I owed money so I could even register for my classes, and it ain't just a little bit. You might be thinking, oh, a check, one of your checks from work could come. It'd be like $1,000, $2,000, because they're not gonna tell you that you owe money. That's stuff that you gotta check on your own.
Graduate college and you're left with loans that you have to pay back. So you graduate college and most of your years are just spent paying that back. So it's a mountain of debt that you get into. Here in Sweden, as long as you have the grades, you can go to school, you can get a good job, you can provide a better life. And I think that's obviously so much better.
Way better.
The fourth thing that I think Sweden does better is creating, I don't even know how to say it, but the fact that they have lanes for bikes. I don't know what's happening to my voice. The fact that they have lanes for bikes and lanes for you to walk on the sidewalks just blows my mind. In America, where I live at least, there's barely any sidewalks, and there's definitely no bike lanes. I think in bigger cities like New York, Chicago maybe, there's some bike lanes, but here in Sweden, you have a big sidewalk, so bikes and pedestrians can both be on the sidewalk at the same time, and you have designated lanes for the bikes and for the pedestrians.
See, yeah, I know where there's hardly sidewalks where I live. It only if you live in a neighborhood, but other than that, no bike lane. I've been to New York. I mean, they have bike lanes, but I still feel like it seems still necessary not to have a car or a bike because it's so crowded there. Like your best option is probably to walk still. Even if you have a bike, you would think a bike would be better, but I think those cars be getting in those lanes. If I can remember, like when I went to Times Square, like I hardly seen people on bike, but they did have like the bike lane little, symbols and stuff.
So it's not just people crisscrossing over each other. The bikes don't have to be in the same lane as the cars, which is the case in America for the most part. The cars and the bikes ride side by side with each other. I feel like it's more safe. I feel like it's more organized. I feel like it just makes sense. Everything in Sweden makes sense. I'm not gonna say everything, but most things make sense. They were done with thought in their mind. They were planned out and they were calculated, and it just works. It's a very aligned country. The fifth thing that I think is better here in Sweden than in America is the public transportation. Now, if you've watched other videos about Sweden, then you probably have heard how great the public transportation is. So you can take a bus or a train basically anywhere. Anywhere you gotta go, you can get there with public transportation. In the US, if you don't live in a big city like New York,
you need a car.
Then the public transportation is probably not that great. For example, where my boyfriend's family lives is about an hour and a half from where we live now, and we can just walk 5 minutes to the bus stop,
Oh.
take the bus there, walk 5 minutes to his mom's house.
Wow.
However, in the US, my dad lives about an hour from where I live. If I wanted to take the bus there, I looked up the bus schedule once. I would have to make 3 bus changes on the way, and it would take me 5 hours with all of the stops and with all of the changes that I would have to make. So
you might as well drive on that. Dang. Oh, that is LA. LA pretty crowded, I believe. Well, let's just say California. I don't know if it's particularly LA. But man, that is different. That is different. Like, I know where I'm in a small town, so we definitely don't have no public transport. You gotta have a car. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta have a car. I don't know, maybe Uber. We may do Uber and Lyft and stuff like that, but who want to keep paying like $20-$30 to go to here and there, though, you know? But that's one thing I do like about Europe. Definitely want to experience is the transportation. Because somebody was like, hey, when you go visit Sweden, just hop on a bus and it'll take you like 30 minutes to get to Denmark. You know who you are. You told me that. I'm like, hey, just hop on a tram or something. It'll take you like 30 minutes to get to Denmark, 30 minutes to get there. So I can, there's plenty of places I'll be able to go just going to one country. I could probably visit like 5 countries within a week. Probably, possibly.
that obviously says something about the public transportation system. Now, pinballing off of that, is that a saying, pinballing? Bouncing off of that is how easy it is to take the bus, because there's an app that you download to your phone that gives you the bus schedule. You can buy the bus ticket directly on your phone. When you get onto the bus, you just scan a QR code and that's the bus ticket.
Wow.
Now, in America, I live in New Jersey, and getting into New York, you still have to pay cash on the bus. They don't have a system like that at all. You have to have a monthly pass, which you buy in advance, or you have to pay cash to go on the bus.
Wow.
So I just feel like it's so technologically behind that it's crazy. New York just got this tap system for the subway system, like just last year. And Sweden has had this for buses for like years.
Wow.
You can also
I definitely couldn't live in New York. Like, I visited like 3 times, maybe. Visited 3 times because my brother went to college down for football. And I said, I can't come back here. I can't.
A train anywhere you have to go. I take a train to Stockholm. I live about 5 hours away, and I have to make 1 transfer to go up to Stockholm.
Wow.
You can take a train to the south of Sweden, to the north, to the east, to the west. Like, anywhere you have to go, there's a train or a bus. And I truly wish America would get their shit together and get a better public transportation system.
Thanks.
Because it's like you have to have a car in America. Cars are expensive, insurance is expensive,
Gas now.
Waiters and waitresses.
This video was made, I think like this video was made like maybe 8 months ago. Now gas is at an all-time high that has ever been. This is crazy. Like, I think they're trying to force us to get electric cars at this point. They're trying to force us to go ahead and get a Tesla.
Aren't getting paid. Like, let's get our shit together, guys. I don't understand what we're doing. So those were the 5 top things that I have noticed that Sweden does better than America. If you have other thoughts, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And thank you so much for watching. I really, truly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.
Nice.
Bye.
No, it's definitely a good video right there. Good video. And I feel like the 5 things, I think that's just probably more all of Europe that does better than America, especially when it comes to those things. The transportation, I definitely got experience the transportation life, because me, the only time like we had buses and stuff, it was for school. That was the only time I really got on the bus. And you feel like going to school, it was a little bit more independence, because getting on the bus stop, going to the bus stop, getting on the bus and stuff like that. But that's about it. But to be able to get on a bus, a tram, a train, or anything like that, and be able to get to your destination with no hassle, no stops, is always better. Cause man, America, super crowded, a lot of stops, and you have to have a car. You really do. You have to have a car. Like, if I try to walk everywhere right now, it would probably be the worst thing ever. It might be the worst thing ever. Like, I could possibly bicycle around, but like she mentioned, like they have bicycle lane, walking lane. We don't have none. I definitely don't see no bicycle lanes in my city, but you know that's just how it is. That's what we've been used to. So they're just trying to force us to get an electric car. That's all. That's what I feel. But that's all I have for this video. Y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Send down those recommendations. And y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.